So what are they doing? I'll tell you what they're doing. They're hiring developers to build new products to screw their customers over for more money. That's what they're doing. So what do you see? 125x margin. What you can do with 125x margin on something that's down 50% in a couple months. Had a 42% green candle about a month and a week ago. You need 125x margin, right? You don't need that. You shouldn't have that. Trading will destroy your life. Trading is where you sit and stare at a screen and try and take another guy's money who doesn't want you to have it. And he's wasting his life the same way. So you're in one part of the world looking at your screen, and he's in another part of the world looking at his screen. And you're both trying to figure out ways to take each other's money. And you know who's getting rich the whole time? The people in the middle. They're happy to see you fight over, oh, is the price going to go up or go down? A lot of times, the price is non-deterministic. It is literally impossible to predict, no matter who you are or no matter how much data you have access to. Not everything in the world is predictable. There are things that are not predictable. And so there's this experiment they do where they have two like people they're testing. One of them, they have try and figure out whether someone has cancer or not by looking at their lung radiology, their x-rays. Might have been CAT scan, but I think they were x-rays. So they tell that guy the real truth about whether he got it right or not. So, you know, that looks like cancer. Okay, it was cancer. Okay, that looks like it's not. Oh, it really was. And then they give him real data, and then he refines his model, and he learns that when I see this, it means cancer, and when I see that, it's not cancer, right? Then they give another guy the same exact tests, but they lie to him about when he was right and when he was wrong. And what happens is, the guy that's given the good data, he comes up with a really simple heuristic to discern what is true and what is false. Very simplistic. But the poor guy that they give the false data, the randomness to, he comes up with very advanced, ornate, exotic ideas for why sometimes things are the way they are, right? When they put these two guys together and they communicate with each other, guess what happens? The guy that was fed wrong data, who has no idea what really means what in the world, that guy, because his stuff sounds more complicated, he convinces the guy that had the right system, the simpler one, to get worse results and adopt ideas from his thing that never actually worked because it was more complicated. That's trading. Trading is, here is a random system that you're going to think that you can find certainty in, even though you can't, by using ever more complicated, ever more complex crap that brings you farther and farther from ever having something that actually works. So like, you know, you get into trading, you go on TradingView and you're like, oh, look at all these indicators. Let's add as many as possible. And then what you realize is like, now really let's like use 3 and that's enough, right? And then really you shouldn't trade at all, because how are you making the world better screwing that guy out of his money? And by the way, you're both going to lose. You're both going to lose, because the guy that actually wins is the person in between you. The person telling you, hey, you can copy trade, right? You would have not done this risky thing because you felt scared, because you didn't have certainty in yourself. But we're going to trick you to have certainty in yourself by saying you could copy someone else successful and get destroyed that way, right? And here's a celebrity. Here's a way to lose all your money. Press that green and red buy and sell button as often as you want. Rack up them fees, right? Terrible. I want to replace all of the counterparties, the banks, the margin lending houses, all of those things which I don't feel make the world a better place. Now in theory, the exchanges could make the world a better place by onboarding more users. But, you know, they did that and the price went down 85%. Anytime someone says like, you know, that hex, it's a money grab. You know, there's no utility. I'm like, it's pure utility. Like everything's better. The fees are lower. The audits are more numerous. The track record of the thing we're running on has had no inflation bugs. Bitcoin has had 2. The transactions are faster. The throughput is higher on the network overall. You know, if you have to work with a lot of other ERC20s on the same network, you have to compete over that. Currently, it's like, what, 3 cents to do a transaction that confirms in like a minute or something. 3 cents is cheap, right? What else? We have a referral program. Can you get rich referring people to Bitcoin? Nope. Not unless you're ruining them and destroying their lives with margin. If you want to ruin people's lives with margin, you can get money in crypto, right? And I've got a link if you want to destroy your life with margin. I'm not even going to tell it to you. I'm not even going to utter the words. I could. I have. But I'm not going to, because it's a better way now. You don't have to get wrecked on margin. You can sit with your stack and hold it, and it will get interest. In Bitcoin, if you could have locked up your coins for 10 years, do you know how happy you'd be? You'd be 750,000x happy. More, actually. But real happy, right? What do people do? They get greedy. They try and predict a pattern in a thing that doesn't tend to have patterns, right? So, like, the problem with margin trading is when you get the game right, the game changes. So you went from $200 to $20,000, about 2.5 years, and you had no dips over 40%, and it never took more than 34 days to find the bottom of the dip. That was awesome. And then we started doing Dipsville from 20K when the CME launched. Buy the rumor, sell the news. It launched. Okay, well, that's the news. What do? We exceeded the 40%. We dropped like 47%. And then we pumped. And we went to like 16.7, or 16.4, or 15.4, something in there. And then we dumped again. And then we pumped to wreck everybody that thought it was over. Oh, you thought it was over? Okay, we're going to go up to 17.550 now, right? And then now everybody got long. Now they get wrecked, right? The system changes when you figure it out, right? You shouldn't do it. You'll lose all your money. You'll lose all your time. You'll lose all your relationships. There's a better way now, right? Let the technology and the design of the thing work for you. Let people refer. Let people transform ETH into Hex. Let people stake for longer and larger. What do you think is going to happen in a system where tons of people are putting money in, and everyone's locked up and they're not taking it out? What do you think is going to happen to the price? It's the simplest thing ever. It's going to go up. Now, is that a guarantee? No. Anything could happen, right? A nuclear war could EMP shock the internet, and now we don't have internet for like 10 years, and we have sticks that we have to like fight with, right? I don't know, right? Anything's possible. What I try and tell you is I tell you what is possible. I give you my data, and then you draw your own conclusions from it. I didn't know how many people would join the contract today. I still don't know. You know better than I do. I haven't looked. I don't know how much money they're sending. I don't know how long they're locked for. I don't know how many people are referred. I don't know the average size stake. I don't know the average length stake. I don't know whether they're smart enough to spread their end stakes out to not hit the market at the same time. I don't know any of this stuff, right? All I know is that we have designed something that has features that are superior to other products. We have marketing that's superior to other products. We have traction and growth that is superior to other products. And there ain't much else more you can do. That's about as good as you can do, right? So in that video that says, this is designed to do over 10,000x in 2.5 years, it is designed to do that. Just like Bitcoin was designed to go higher than it is now. Bitcoin was designed to take over fiat and to displace national currencies. And if it did that, or a larger portion of it than it's doing now, it would be up millions of percent, right? So it was designed to do millions of percent return, and it's already done 750,000x of that return. It's really more, depending on where you bought it, right? So I'll give you an example. On Ethereum, if you quote it from its ICO price to 3.5 years later, it's a 4,500x. But if you got it on exchange, the price dumped under ICO price, and it wicked down on Kraken, and you could have got it for about half of ICO price. It was either 14 cents or 17 cents or something like that. It was actually 15 cents. So if you're quoting the multiple off of ICO price to the top, you're going to get a 4,500x in 3.5 years. If you're quoting the price on exchange and you go to the ETH USD pair on TradingView and look up Kraken, you're going to see it went from 15 cents to $1,500, and that's a 10,000x. And it did it faster than it did in 2.5 years. So, and I know other currencies that have done I think better things, but if not better, equal, right? Like these numbers are so gigantic that you almost can't reason about them.